everybody. Welcome to NorCal Sports Network, brought to you by Northern Lights Entertainment. Go check them out on the web.
Northern Lights Entertainment Radio.ca. Go check it out. Streams live on that website.
Yeah, you want some good music? You want some music from the different genres?
Different genres, yep.
Yeah, you can pick it up.
A lot of classic rock, a lot of classic rock.
It's got 5 different stations, I believe. Northern Lights Entertainment. Right there on the webs, right there at the top below their logo.
Banner. Yep.
Northern Lights Entertainment Radio.ca. Go check it out. Let's get into today's ball game. Welcome to Cody from Even Year Dynasty Show. We'll be getting in at the top of the hour. We'll be discussing the minor leagues here coming up at 9 o'clock. So we'll hit the Giants Astros here for about 22, 23 minutes. And then we'll get right into the minor leagues, and that'll take us into wherever the show ends. And who knows, maybe we'll get off the rails and get onto music or get onto foods. You never know.
Never know.
Like my new hat that just came in today.
Look at that. Got the Expos hat.
Got the Expos, yeah. It's not the 39 30 style.
You just muted yourself, Dan. There you go.
There. This has a better fit, the 39-30 style.
Nice.
Which I like because it has it's fitted. But then I can hang with Cody here. I can do some.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I can do some Cody. Wait, let me see if I can do some Cody here. Hold on.
So I can't. These hats don't bend well enough, man.
All my hats have to have a bend. The only ones that don't have a bend,
like really crank it to get it to. Oh, there we go. Kind of better now.
I got one hat that doesn't have a bend, and it's the fitted, and it hurts my head. It's like, I needed an A size bigger. This is a 7. I needed a 7 and an 1/8. And that thing gives me a headache. So you know what, guys, this is a brand new hat. I've only worn it once inside, probably on the show.
Oh, giving it away.
We'll make this a prize. It's a size 7. So if you got a big head, might fit your wife. I got a pinhead. I'm sorry. Not much in here. Yeah. So anybody who's got a smaller head, maybe you got a kid that's got a teenager or something. This is too small for me. I'd keep it, but I need an 8, 7 and an 1/8. Dang. Should have got the 1/8. Oh, well. That's why I like these. I'm getting.
What is you doing, Dan?
Shorts. I'm hitting my wire.
Now you're muted. There you go.
I like the 39-30s. They have a little bit of, so how's that hat look?
Orioles hat's nice. Like the Orioles hat. I like the Orioles hat. I think it looks good.
I don't know why. I'm not crazy. Keep getting muted.
You're sounding all choppy.
How's it now? Is it
now
better?
You're good. Now you're good.
All right. I just won't move. I don't we can't have two hats the same. All right. There we go. This one came in today too.
Oh, twins? Nice.
Yeah, nice one. Oh, look at else what came in today.
Ah, there you go.
Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. I say Indians.
Yeah, nice.
Indians is fine with me.
They got a good team.
Yeah.
Good manager too.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into today's
More than the manager. How about the
back.
GM? The GM.
Yeah, Seager homered 3 minutes ago, and Luis Robert homered 4 minutes ago. I can take that. Yeah. I want to see those things come across my phone with my fantasy team.
Yeah, you're
Did
still
you see
sitting
the
at
home
minus
run
one.
Robert hit
Still sitting at
a few
minus
days
one.
ago?
Yeah, because my pitching didn't do well today. And I'll probably remain there because I'm not going to dig out of the hole with the batting.
Did you see the home Robert hit?
No, did he smash it?
Seattle. Yeah, he hit one up in the upper deck.
Nice.
Oh my goodness!
Up there.
Nice.
Would he
It was
be
a
exciting? But wouldn't that be nice to have an outfield right now of Matos, Ramos, and Luis Robert?
It would,
but
I'd be willing to bet Matos goes back if you make that trade.
Matos is being the deal.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he would be too.
Yeah.
You know what? And for Luis, he might be like, just get me out of here. I can't take it.
He might be in pinstripes.
Huh?
He might be in pinstripes. I wouldn't be surprised.
Matos?
No. Luis Robert.
Oh, with the Yankees?
Yeah.
Because they know Soto's gone and they got control over Luis Robert.
I don't know. They might get Soto. It's either going to be them or the Mets. It's going to be a huge battle. And Soto may be like, does he want to be the man or does he want to be second fiddle? Does he want to be KD behind Steph or does he want to be
the man?
Soto wants to be the richest Juan Soto he can be.
And he will be. And he will be.
And he doesn't care who it comes from.
Well, before you get, how about we get to the post game real quick before we start going down this road?
Why?
What do you think? No?
Hey, no, hey man. What do you got? What do you got against Soto?
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to avoid the elephant in the room. You're avoiding the elephant in the room, man.
What's the elephant in the room?
We all know what the elephant in the room is.
You mean that is it that two-headed monster thing you got up there? Can we see the two-headed monster?
The two-headed monster? Well, you can't really do this today. I mean, it's not for the guy on the left. He did okay. He did okay.
Yeah, what did Slater do today? He got the big hit.
Got 2 RBIs, 3 hits.
3 hits today? Did he really?
Yeah, first one was a bunt hit, and the rest
did what they pay him to do.
All right, he got a bunt hit. He stole a base. Yeah, he had a good game. Player of the game.
Yeah,
player of the game. Austin Slater. Good for him. You know,
Logan Webb was okay. 6 innings, 3 earned. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the homer to Al. I mean, the 1 earned run.
That Alvarez.
He
Alvarez is lucky.
What the hell?
It was a 2 home. That should have been a 2 home run game for Alvarez.
Yeah, he hit that ball. He had to hit that ball that went off the wall. 425 because it was at least because he hit it off the 415 marker and it was at the top of the wall still going. That is such a travesty. I mean, how do you hit a ball 425?
Belt knows all about that. Belt knows all
425 feet and have not even a home run.
Yep.
Man.
But anyways, Slater, good game. Doesn't mean he's part of the future. He just had a good game. That happens.
Well, he's part of Farhan's future, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Giants win. Webb, they're back to a game under.
Yep.
Can they get to 500 on Friday night against the Angels? We'll see. The pitching matchup's not the greatest for the Giants, I don't believe. Let me take a look and see what the matchup looks like because it's generally after Webb pitches, they kind of hit a wall. Undecided against Tyler Anderson. So Slater back in the lineup.
Slater will be back in there. Yep.
How about Brett Wisely getting the start over Casey Schmidt today with a lefty on the mound in Framber Valdez? You know Casey's gone when Ahmed comes back.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, Wisely over Ahmed.
I would say 100%. That.
The kid's playing. I mean, the dude's betting 320 something.
Yeah, why would you put Ahmed back in? But they'll put him on in. Ahmed. You know what they may do is they may platoon for a while, and if Wisely continues to hit and Ahmed doesn't, they may.
Then they'll just give him the job.
Then they may give the job to Wisely.
Why not, man? The kid's playing. Yeah, you cannot. As a matter of fact, we'll play it later. There's a new addition. We'll show it later.
Oh. We added the white guy.
How about
that?
How about
Okay.
I would make the argument that even if, and I've been feeling stronger and stronger like this lately, that even if we had a shortstop right now, I'd rather see Brett Wisely than Tyro. Quite frankly.
Ooh, yeah. Why not? Put him at second base.
Tyro,
Because Tyro, I don't know what's going on with him.
Everything. He has zero plate discipline.
If I'm not mistaken, they sent someone down that has a lot of upside that always swing at everything too, right?
So I just, he's a solid player, but I think he's a guy you could actually get something for at 28 years old. He's swinging, even though he's struggling right now, I wouldn't be shocked if you could still get something pretty valuable for him. And I like the quality of Wisely's at bats a lot more.
I do.
Frankly, he's just as good defensively. I mean, everyone talks about how Tyro's like a fringe Gold Glover at second base, and it's like
Wisely's been doing good.
Wisely's natural position is probably second.
Yeah,
and his at bats, he gets some good at bats. Him and Ramos are similar in their at bats. They go deep in the count. Michael Roeder, thank you, $2. We've already been doing that. We are giving him a shout out. Absolutely.
I would say, yeah, get Wisely in the lineup. Play the hot hand. To me, he's doing something right. He's staying in. He's not pulling out of it, against lefties. He's not, pulling his front shoulder out. He's staying in, staying head down on the ball. Slater, what do you get? 2 walks and a hit today? Hit the ball hard to left field on his
2
one
hits,
hit.
right?
2 hits did he get?
Who?
I don't have the box.
Soler had 2 hits.
Oh, that's right. He had a bloop, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a bloop.
Bloop and
I'll
quite a
take it.
blast, but gosh,
don't give me hope, Jorge.
I gotta go get my eye checked. It's been burning and watering for days. I don't know if it's an allergy or what. Wow. Whew.
And I'm going to have a lot nicer things to say about the hitters on the farm next week because the River Cats are putting up 14 runs again.
Yep.
Wow.
Sheesh.
I'm taking a gander at it right now.
How's Matos doing?
Bishop just had a 3-run homer. Absolutely crushed one.
Who did? Bishop or Matos?
Matos.
Another one tonight?
Matos also has a double. He has a home run and a double. 5 RBIs.
But he's going to flounder down there because Slater's actually doing something, so they'll leave him down there.
Yeah.
Well, even if he stays down there, sure, he'll be back up next year, right?
He'll be up sometime this year.
In a week.
I say Matos either comes back this year, or
because of injury,
or he gets dealt.
Yeah.
I
see.
I don't see him sitting in AAA all year. If he does, and he continues to hit, man, gosh.
Bishop put one 108, about a foot from going out.
Luciano's line, not so good.
Oh, wow.
Luciano, he's 0 for 3 with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts.
The Slater show begins.
Ryan with $5. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the show as always. Glad to see Cody on right down there. There you go.
There we go.
And Soler finally taking pitches. It won't.
So, what do you think, guys? The Giants overall, they just kind of up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that is. They seem to not be able to get hot. Now, I'm hearing Cobb is throwing, and Ray. I mean, do you think that makes a difference if Cobb? I mean, I would think if they pitch well, it's got to make a difference, right? That would solidify the rotation with 2 starters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Ray definitely will make an impact at some point this season, barring a setback on his end. But, he's up to throwing a couple innings now, through 2 perfect innings in the ACL last week. Cobb, they're saying, is up to throwing like 25 pitches or so in his bullpen, but he's been doing this where he'll throw and then his shoulder flares up and he can't throw for several days. So I don't know. We'll see. They the media team's hyping him up, but I don't have a lot of faith. I think his career might honestly be over.
Cobbs, yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
And they gave him basically $10 million. They had a $10 million. They had a $2 million buyout.
Yeah.
And rather than just eat the $2 million, they gave him an extra 8, or a net 10 instead of a net 8 loss. Right now it looks like a net 10 loss. Interesting. The Rangers, they're beating the Dodgers. Can they hold on? Look at the Twinkies, 17-9. Brewers win again. Blue Jays can't get it going. That makes they're already started.
There's already a trade. Yeah.
Well, they released Biggio, and then Dodgers probably put it in a claim, and they made a deal.
Yep.
Or however that works. So the Giants there. Padres win again. Wow, Orioles beat the Braves for second night in a row. Cubbies beat the Rays. Reds hanging in there, beating the Guardians. They're hanging right in there in that NL crazy wild card, which is going to definitely go down to the last. Somewhere in that race, I believe it's going to go down to the last weekend. There's too many teams punched up. The question is, will the Giants be there, or will their bullpen get, wiped out because of second half fatigue? What else we got on here? Yankees win again, sweep the Royals. Not another homer for Stanton.
Yep.
No, jeez. Gosh darn it. Dang it. Did he hit another homer tonight? Home run, Stanton. Way to go. Just traded him.
I know. I know.
But I did get a save out of it today too. So I got better shot at getting points in the saves than I do in home runs. I figure.
True.
Have a chance to pick up.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Duvall saved today, Mike. How's that cellar, or the smell of the cellar, feeling from third place to 11th? Enjoy it, because it's going to last.
You better hope he doesn't climb up, man.
He ain't climbing up.
I don't
He ain't
think
climbing up. He can't make any moves.
No, he can't. That sucks.
Wait till a couple of guys get hurt, and he's like trying to trade people, and he's like,
yeah, it's going to be
next time
tough,
it's going to be, nope, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Did you guys, real quick before we start getting into the minor league report, you see Wade is trying to come back in time for the Rickwood game in Alabama?
What's going on with the Rickwood game?
Wade wants to come back in time to play in that game.
I
put a tweet out there saying, look, I know I can understand he wants to come back for that game, but you're risking not only his health, but you're also risking the success of the team if you try to come back and re-aggravate. It's a hamstring, man. You just don't come back from a hamstring. You gotta make sure that thing's healed up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna be right back on the freaking IL again.
Yeah. Looks like Brian Iglesias wants me to put a Giants hat on. I had it on for a little bit, but let me see. What do I got here?
What is this, Michael? With another $2, says Dan or Eric show
song? Yeah, they've shown me the Farhan song.
Oh, the Farhan song. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. All right,
isn't it?
I'll put another Giants hat on. There
you go.
There we go. Since they won a series, but I've got one.
Well, maybe he's talking about the Farhanian baseball. Maybe that's the one he's thinking. What's up, Matt?
I don't know where my.
I thought it was the Farhan's Gotta Go song, but I don't know.
That one too. Yeah, there's that. Well, there's the song, but I made
got this one ready for the weekend, though, guys.
I don't know. It's the Angels. Angels are.
Hey.
The Don't they whipped on
Better win at least
Arizona
2.
tonight.
All I can say.
What's that?
Better win at least 2.
They better. If they go
Yeah.
3-3 on this homestand, yikes.
You can't go 500, man.
Not at
you're
home
just
again.
sitting-
Not at home when you got the Angels. Angels
No,
should be a potential sweep. But the
should.
problem
Schedule
is
gets a lot tougher right after. You got the Cubs for you have 7 games against the Cubs, and
Yeah.
I think 3 against LA, and there was another series.
Cardinals,
next in there.
3.
Cardinals, thank you.
You gotta worry about the Giants when they right now because who's going to pitch? Undecided is Johnny Undecided is on
Johnny
the
Undecided.
I mean, who is that? Is it Spencer Howard? He's okay. He's not bad.
Okay. He's been okay.
But then they got somebody else. Oh, Wynn. Keaton Wynn. I don't have any confidence in Keaton Wynn. He's either grooving that splitter because it's not splitting because his elbow. He's probably not snapping it because of his elbow.
The splitter's not splitting, man. Not good.
Well, he's had how many times has he been on the injured list with his elbow this year? 3?
For the elbow this year? Well, let's see.
Got
He
shut
started
down in
the
spring
season.
training.
Yep. And then only one time, right, during the season, I think.
Yeah, man.
The other time I know he was sick, and that's why they said whatever.
Well, yeah, we'll see. So, yeah, it was a pretty good, well-played game. One little error today that was it was ruled a hit, but it was a mental error on Wilmer Flores. He was playing way over off the bag toward second base, and it was a ball. You got to know where your second baseman is you go get that. And Webb was obviously thinking, oh, it's hit right to the second baseman. I mean, all Estrada had to do is move, 2 steps to his left?
Yeah.
It was just a routine. Flores is already 15 feet off the bag, maybe 20. And he goes over towards second base. And, he just had to backhand it. But that's a ball that you got to just, jet back to first and let Estrada get it. Because there was a runner on first base, third out, that run doesn't count. That doesn't score. So I thought that was a mental error. Also on Webb too. Yeah. Brian mentions that Webb did not run over to first base. And I get it. Kruko mentioned how many times you got to run every time the ball's hit on the right side. But mentally, it's tough when you see the ball that where your second baseman is. You're not thinking, shoot, I better hurry up and get over there.
Right.
The Marlins hat has not come in. I have not ordered. There's 3 teams I have not ordered, and that's the Marlins, the Rays, and the Blue Jays right now.
No, you know what he's trying to say. You know what Aaron's trying to say, right?
What's he trying to say? Where's the Marlins?
Where the Marlins hat at?
That's what he's trying to, yeah.
Where your Marlins hat at?
There's only a big wall full of hats of every damn team.
Where the Marlins hat at?
Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm too narcissistic to look. I need to have it handed to me. You want to see
I'm
me
videoing myself getting dressed.
Yeah, you want to see me get dressed? Jeez, who does that? I mean, when I saw those videos last year, the food reviews, were we the first of the Bay Area media to be shredding Kapler for his food reviews? I mean, that was just nuts. Name me one manager, one head coach.
Not one.
In football, a basketball coach. Name me one in pro or college that is doing a show on their, Instagram reviewing food during their season. I mean, you want to do that in the off season, fine, but no wonder the lineup. He didn't have to worry. He didn't have to worry about the lineup because he didn't have to worry about managing because Farhan was doing everything.
He was doing everything for him. He just had to go out there and act the part. Remember that, Dan? The Philly article about the soil in the forest. Oh my God, that was class. That's when I made the classic thumbnail.
Yeah.
Best
that one.
thumbnail I think I ever made for a post game.
I don't know. That sweep was pretty good of the Yankees.
That sweep was
that
pretty
Soto
That
swing.
Soto one is pretty damn awesome. Did you see that one, Cody?
No, I'll have to go back and
Hold on, I got it right here, man.
This was after the sweep. This
is a thing of beauty right here. Look at
that.
Look
That's
at
solid.
that. Isn't that beautiful? Man.
That's my favorite because I love the park. I love the swing.
Yeah.
And then the broom on the end. I mean, that did it, man. That was a shot, an epic shot. How's my team doing today? 2 saves. Okay. Who got the other save?
Slater officially back.
You're already into the fantasy baseball already.
All right. Well, let's go to the minor leagues report. Let's get to Cody's minor league report. Giants win a big series against the Houston Astros, which was, a pretty good team. I mean, they were missing Kyle Tucker, but we were missing Lamont Wade.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Giants played them good. I like that.
Those
Giants,
are equal things, right?
What's that?
I said those are equal things, right?
Yeah, exactly. Tucker and
well, that just tells you the state of the Giants. They don't got Kyle
It's
Tucker.
their 3-hitter, and we're missing our 3-hitter. It's the same thing, guys.
Yeah, come on, man. Lamont Wade had 1 or 2 homers, and Tucker has how many? Doubled?
Like 13.
15, 13, 12, 13.
Yeah.
How many stolen bases does Tucker have versus Wade's 0? I mean, does anybody have more than 3 stolen bases on the Giants? Is Fitzgerald still
Chapman
the leader?
has 5.
Chapman has
5.
Chapman.
Chapman. Okay.
I think Fitzgerald has 4.
Okay.
Maybe 5 now because I think they had a double steal in there the other day.
Yeah.
He's right around there. He's right around Chapman.
All right. Well, Chapman's a good base runner. I got to say, he knows how to run the bases. He's a well, ball player as far as fundamental. He's pretty fundamentally sound. Strikes out a little too much for me, but he either strikes out or hits the ball hard. Doesn't it? It seems like he doesn't.
It's weird.
He doesn't really get cheated. He doesn't get cheated a lot.
No.
I mean, he's in like the 96 plus percentile on like every batted ball metric when he actually hits it.
When he hits
it.
How about Bailey has one of the top barrel rates in baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Bailey hits the ball pretty hard. I don't know if he would hit it that hard from the right side, but he's a good left-handed hitter. So, all right, Cody, give us your take. Start where you want. If you want to start at the bottom and go all the way up, or vice versa. Floor is yours.
Well, I mean, there's not. If we're just looking at kind of the what positives came out of the week last week, and there's a lot of positives that happened in the last couple of days, but those will be next week, particularly with guys like Bryce Eldridge yesterday, who had one of the best displays of power to all fields that I've seen in quite a while from any minor leaguer. But going through last week, some of the big highlights for me were Carson Whisenhunt got up to 88 pitches. That was a positive development. Went 5 2/3, only 1 earned run, 5 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. But 88 pitches, 58 for strikes. So he was pretty efficient overall, right at close to that 15 pitch an inning, that you're looking for. So it was nice to see him stretch out a little bit. Hayden Birdsong had another really solid outing in Double-A.
Now promoted.
5 innings. Yes, now promoted. So he jumped up to Triple-A. So we're going to see some movement probably. There was a little bit already outside of that. We'll kind of go through, but he went 5 innings, no earned. They did give up 2 unearned runs in that game, but no walks and 6 strikeouts. That was really good. Grant McRae got promoted up to Triple-A as well. He's had an okay start so far in Sacramento. So he actually had a couple RBI single earlier today and stole a bag, which was nice to see. Victor Barracoto had a really good week last week, 10 for 27. Finally, is starting to show the power a little bit. I mean, he's a guy that produces some pretty great exit velocities. and had 27 home runs between high A and double A last year, which those are two very pitcher-friendly leagues. So yeah, this was, I think, number 5 on the season for him. So hopefully he gets going as it warms up over there on the East Coast. Going down to Eugene, Diego Velasquez had a really good week. 8 for 26, a couple triples, a double. David Will Bednar. I called him David Bednar. Will Bednar, yeah. His brother, Will Bednar. He's been, I don't know if he's still rehabbing or if this is actually his landing spot, because when he was in San Jose, they said he was rehabbing. Now he's up in Eugene. I don't know if it's a continued rehab or if this is actually where they want him, and then they're going to go from there. But he's been pitching about 2 inning starts at a time. I don't know if he'll ever be able to get stretched out with all the back injuries he's had. They took him, I think, 14th. Yeah, they took him, 14th overall. I mean, I know you don't want a reliever with the 14th pick, but with his injuries, I think might be where he's destined.
Maybe follow Big Brother, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I will say this. He has the stuff for a late inning guy like his brother.
Yeah.
I mean, he's throwing 97 right now with a pretty nasty splitter.
Wow.
So,
maybe he becomes a closer and Duvall becomes a good trade piece.
Yeah. Potentially. I mean, there are a lot of options, and we talked about it, I think, a week or two ago, where, Duvall might be a guy that if they're not in it, which, I mean, it looks like they're going to hang around. So I don't think Farhan's going to have the guts to make a move like that. But, there are a lot of internal options, maybe not that are that are ready to be closing games tomorrow. But between Rodriguez, Crawford, down the road, maybe a guy like Bednar. I mean, there's plenty of guys in the system that are pretty explosive arms that look like they could be, potentially closers.
I mean, look at it. You got Rodriguez, you got Crawford, maybe Bednar. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of
more to come.
Seth Corey, who seems like he's been in Eugene forever, has had a really good year. He got bumped up to Richmond, so good for him. So,
Dan, you okay, man?
Yeah. Oh, I was like, I think he's muted. I was so confused.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
He was waving at me. I'm like, hi.
I was like, what do we do? No, what does that mean?
Yeah, they were waving. All right.
Family group chat.
Oh, that's fine. I just said no. It looked weird, dude. I was like,
yeah, all good. Going to San Jose. Lots of struggles down there last week, but there's a lot more positives that are going to come out of it this week. Eldridge, he hit a home run down the left field line last week, which was he's hit like 4 down the left field line, which has been pretty impressive. I mean, I've always said with a left-handed hitter at Oracle Park, and this is why I think a guy like Soto would be so good there. If you want to be an elite power hitter and play in Oracle Park, you better be able to hit it out foul pole to foul pole.
Yeah.
And Eldridge can. So he'll take that pitch on the outside, and he takes an easy swing. It doesn't even look like he swings hard and just goes.
You know what's even more scary? And I've seen Senior mention this in the chat.
Yeah.
He's got room to put on some more muscle.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
Even
He's
more
19.
Scary. That's even more scary.
In October?
He could put another 20 pounds on, and
easily.
Oh my God. And I don't think it's going to greatly affect the swing he's got now because of his frame.
That could be something. It all in the core and everything, and he'll look similar body type, and just as long as he keeps the flexibility and everything, so he stays healthy. Like he could get so strong and he's already strong as hell and hits crap out of the ball. And I think he's going to be a top 10 prospect in the game in the next couple of years at some point.
Do you see him getting promoted here soon to Eugene? Or you think they're keeping him in San Jose for?
Okay,
I mean, he's batting 280. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe you're getting into it.
Yeah, I mean, so he's had a couple more good games this week. He kind of slowed down last week after having a 2 or 3 week stretch where he played really well. But I think he deserves to get moved to Eugene this season at some point. But this is what I'll say, is the Giants seem to have an organizational philosophy with the young players that I don't necessarily agree with, but this just is what it is, where whatever it is, whether they just want to get them comfortable professional at bats, used to travel schedules, whatever, especially with the younger players. They seem to want to have them play like an entire season in San Jose and like an entire season in high A. And they're super passive about moving these guys up. And then as soon as they hit double A, they're like, okay, well, now we'll take the kids' gloves off and we'll be aggressive moving you. But it's an organizational thing. So it wouldn't shock me if they left him to sit in San Jose all season. I don't like it, but listening to guys like Kyle Haynes talk, they sound prepared to just, let him sit there for the year. I hope.
Aren't you doing more of a disservice if he's doing well in low A just to bump him up to high A?
I mean, I agree. It's just, it's just how they've operated. And
because then you start, to a certain extent, you start playing down to what, you're playing down to what the pitchers are giving you compared to what you may experience in high or even double A.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's to me, I don't like it because you see better pitching in, obviously, but you're seeing much better pitching in double A and triple A, and the double A in particular is a much tougher environment to hit in. I want him getting more at bats there. In his minor league career.
Push him through the low and high A, and if he has to spend a year or two at double A, okay, that's fine. Because now you're getting a little bit more.
You usually don't spend 2 years in double A, though, if you're top.
I know.
And I don't want him to spend too much time in double A, just because like that hitting environment might like destroy a guy. Because
it's a pitch, especially the Eastern.
Really difficult.
That is a tough league.
Yeah, so
that's why it was so impressive of what Matos and Meckler did in double A, because they were hitting way over 300.
Yeah. Oh, you can be successful. And the fact they did it early in the year was even more impressive because it's cold, it's windy, it's just,
and they were getting it done.
What's the situation with Von Braun? He's at double A still, right?
He just can't hit.
Can't hit.
I know. Yeah. He's got like a 50% strikeout rate right now. I just every week. I mean, last week 0 for 6 with 4 Ks. I mean, it's just the week before he was like 1 for 15 with 7 strikeouts, or 1 for 13, and I had a home run.
That's rough, man. He was. I mean, he was invited to camp last year. He was like,
he's an older prospect.
He's like 26.
Had injuries, and he's just not making contact. I just don't. He's currently their number 15 prospect, and they usually do a reshuffle about midseason. I think he's going to drop off the list entirely. I
agree.
He wasn't even in the lineup today.
Yeah. I've heard they might be sending him to, Arizona to get a kind of a reset. Go send him down to the complex league to just get him a little reset. But I don't know how much truth there is to that. It's just kind of something I was reading earlier. Senior Charlie County. He's a nice player. He's old for the league. He's 23, but he's playing well. I mean, those guys I can't put too much stock.
He's on the development list. What does that mean?
Yeah, I can't do too much. Put too much stock in those guys just because until I see them in like high A or double A, see them up in a better, a tougher environment with guys closer to their age.
Holy
shit. Yeah. But outside of that, I mean, last week there were a couple guys down in the complex league doing rehab. Ryan Reckley actually is having a decent season so far. He was a guy that when they picked him up, he was they gave him $2.2 million 2 years ago in the international free agency. And he was the number 9 guy, and he's struggled a lot in the DSL. He's 19, and he's hitting the ball pretty well. So we'll see if we'll see as he gets to full season ball if he can show something, because he was pretty bad. And Kyle Haynes flat out said the game was too fast for him, and they felt like it's finally slowing down a little bit. Okay. And his performance is back to that, but it's the complex league, so it's like, okay, let's see what you do when you get up to San Jose and so on. And then a few other guys that kind of made their debut. Hunter Bishop, I hadn't brought him up. He did really great. He did really well last week.
2 hits tonight.
Yeah, another 2 hits and 2 walks tonight. and he got thrown out at second on the second hit. He hit it 108 miles an hour on a line that hit like a foot from the top of the wall.
Oh, wow.
And got thrown out at second. I mean, that's how hard he hit it.
That's because it bounced back so hard he was able to get it back in.
Yeah, it went right back to the guy. The
Senior
right
wants to know about this Charlie Skowski.
Oh, that was the guy I was just talking about. He's a decent little shortstop. He was drafted, like you said, he was drafted last year.
Yeah, okay.
And he's 23 in San Jose, so it's like he's hitting 287 right now, I think, or 285, something like that. He's playing solid. He's just old for the level. So I don't, those guys should be successful in San Jose, which is kind of glorified college ball. Like it's like a small step up from college ball where, maybe everybody has a little bit more talent overall, but it's just not as refined as other levels. And a lot of these really good college players, you should be able to show up to A ball and play well. And
play well, right.
To his credit. But until I see it in high A, double A, I just don't put too much stock. It's like Jonah Cox, where I've been saying, he was hitting like 350 for a chunk of the year. And it's like, this is great. It's A ball. It's what he should be doing. Now let's get him up because he's showing he's too good for this level. So move him up so we can actually start getting an idea how good he might be.
I was just looking at the Richmond roster, and it showed Von Brown on the development list.
Yeah, I said, I heard that rumor that he might be going over to the Complex League to get a reset.
It's not
I
good.
don't know. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, he had the flu earlier this year where he lost so much weight that they gave him a bunch of time off to try and get the weight back on, and he hasn't hit at all season. So it's just.
And I was just looking at the Richmond Flying Squirrels have 22 pitchers on their roster.
Yeah, they have
22.
That's the one thing they had some nice pitching down there at the start of the year with Birdsong and Crawford and Carson. Sales had a pretty decent year, a little bit up and down, but pretty decent year. He threw 85 pitches this week in 5 2/3 and gave up 2 earned runs in 9 Ks. So he's had some decent stuff. But yeah, I mean, Richmond's kind of a depressing place if you want to watch offense.
Right. Nothing.
They don't have a ton of talent. They do have a few guys that are nice. But now that McRae's gone and Bishop's gone, I mean, Will Wilson.
Baracoda's about it. Will Wilson.
He's struggling. Yeah, he's not doing anything. Jairo Pomares, when he makes contact, it's pretty explosive, but he's still kind of trying to get his feet under him. And yeah, Baracoda is kind of he's the best prospect you have offensively there at this point. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I mean, the offense was pretty rough around their system. They still were pretty successful. The River Cats, I mean, they went 5-1. I mean, I know a lot of people say, record doesn't matter, and they're not wrong with the minors. But to me, it is nice to finally see their AAA team actually putting a decent record on.
Yeah, they got some good players down there.
Yeah, it tells you that you actually have some talent there, and they've shown some of the depth this season where they've had to call up a bunch of guys, and these guys haven't looked, well over their head or out of their depth when they've been in the majors. So,
I thought the River Cats starting roster in April out of the gate was more talented than the Giants big league roster. I really did.
I think it was definitively more talented. I mean, I don't know. I made the joke that are we confident they wouldn't score more runs? Now, I errors and things like that, but it's like
you had Ramos, Matos, Schmidt. Who else was down?
I mean, Wisely,
yeah.
I mean, Munguia has struggled this season, but
did you already touch on Reggie Crawford when I was gone? How he's doing?
No, I had not talked about.
We haven't we haven't AAA yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So with Reggie, I don't know if he maybe got injured, and the reason I say this because nothing has come out about him, but he only threw in one game, through 1 inning, 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts. He only threw 12 pitches, but he struck out the first batter, and after the strikeout, the whole training staff and everybody came out and talked to him, and he stayed in the game and threw the next 2 hitters and got out and finished the inning out. But then he didn't make his appearance on his every 4th day like he normally does. I haven't looked at the box score the last 2 days to see if he was in there. I think I might have checked yesterday and didn't see him.
He's not in here tonight.
Yeah, so
do any of these guys that's like amazing. Does nobody stretch anymore? How many hamstrings have been strained in big league baseball? I mean, these guys
it's all the big leagues, yeah.
Yeah. Like what? I mean, you know what it is? They are getting so much strength and conditioning that they have no flexibility. And their tendons are so tight that they, I don't know, man. It's kind of scary. How about that? Speaking of, wow, did Yaz dodge a bullet today? You see that pitch from Valdez? Just
right in his forehead, man.
Just hit that bill of the helmet.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I heard Kruko talking about it afterward, and they're like, the Giants really wanted to get him after that one. And I'm thinking, guys, we got Harrison who's thrown like 15 balls this season.
I know.
Like, come on. It's not on purpose. Like, what are we doing here?
I know. I don't understand the Giants broadcast team. I don't know if they've just gotten bored because they've been watching this team for 3 years of boredom since 21. I mean, they've had one exciting season since 2016, right? So 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, and 24 has not. 7 of the last 8 seasons have been nothing to get excited about, except for some rare moments like the comeback win on Monday night. Yeah. You get those. But these guys now, and they're also 8 years older. Okay. But is this group, are they just looking for something to get? I'm seeing pitches where the other team gets a break and it's like, oh man, that's awful call. That was not a strike. And then the Giants get the same break and it's like, oh, that one missed. Yeah. Just missed, but it was off the plate. Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm starting to think that we're seeing we're coming to the end. I think in the I would say within the next 2 to 3 years, I think you're not going to have Kruk and Kipe anymore.
And John, because he's getting up in years.
And John, yeah. So here's their next crew. I think it's led by Fleming will be the number 1 guy. And I think Joe Rizzo gets promoted up to become one of their other broadcasters. And then I wouldn't be surprised to see Javi Lopez get it.
I like Fleming and Javi. I think they do a good job.
Hey, real quick, Matos, another home run.
Another one.
He had another one.
I think so, right? Matos in the 5th. No, I take that back. It was Sable. My bad.
Oh, there's another guy, Sable.
Sable hit it.
Is Bishop
2 hits?
Bishop's still up, right? Not Bishop. I mean Brooks. I get that name. Brooks. Yeah, I don't get that move. I really don't get that move of Brooks. It's like
I would have rather seen Sable play.
Yeah,
first.
Me too. I don't understand it. He provides speed. He not only provides you speed, he gives you as a manager an option, more options to when he's on the bench. If you want to pinch hit for, like I said the other night, Cody, I think it was it Sunday or Monday's game, Eric? They took out Casale in the 9th inning, and Bailey pinch hit in the bottom of the 8th and came out to catch the 9th. What game was that?
I can't remember.
It was against oh gosh. I'm not sure which game it was, but anyway, I thought, why would you you're one foul. You're up by 2 runs. Whatever game that was, they went up, and I'm thinking to myself, you just had Bailey go out with concussions, foul tips. If he takes a foul tip off the mask and you're up by 2, and so last inning, and you got to now bring in an emergency catcher. I don't know. I don't like having my catcher
Power
come
hitting
in.
catcher Tom Murphy.
Wait till he
Yeah.
comes back. He should be coming back soon too, right?
Who knows? I don't think he's better. I mean, he's not as defensively anywhere near Casale.
No, I know. Casella would be
He's
going
not
bye-bye.
defensively near a pitchback being behind the plate. I mean,
know.
God, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's going to
They
be
paid him.
interesting.
Hey, they paid him $8 million. They're playing him.
So what do you think we'll do with Casale? You think they'll release him?
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
You
He
think
may be.
Where else are they going to put him? They're going to carry 3 catchers?
Yeah.
If you're going to carry 3 catchers, you might as well carry Sable because Sable gives you options and speed and everything else.
But that's a problem. Sable has options. That's
I'm
why.
going to answer Senior here really quick because he said it
Yeah.
is Reno that they're
Oh
playing.
yeah,
in.
Reno. Yeah.
Matos hit it 432 feet to left field. It's leaving every park in America. It doesn't matter the elevation he was playing at.
Yeah.
That ball was absolutely
Demolished.
smacked. Yeah.
Wow. PK.
Wow.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. Like you were talking about with Crawford. Man, that's
Yeah.
weird.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, it's typical minor leagues.
Did you watch the game when you saw all the trainers going out? Were you watching it?
Yeah, I was just. I went
Were
back.
they pointing to anything on his body by chance, or
No, they were
just
just talking to him. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then he finished the inning out and walked off. And I mean, he had only thrown 12 pitches. So, they've been kind of alternating with him between throwing 1 inning and 2 innings or letting him go out for a second. So I kind of expected to see him go out in a second. He came out, I was just like, whatever. They're just letting him do 1 today. And then
he's not coming out for the 9th on this one. Whoa.
Yeah.
Dang it.
It's Andrews that's pitching the 9th.
Had 2 home runs tonight with 2 guys on the bench. Each guy had a home run tonight on the bench. I would have
Like
had.
when I play fantasy football, you could almost guarantee that whoever I left on the bench was going to catch 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Who was it that had bench somebody and they had like 50 something points last year? Remember that last year, Dan? I can't remember who it was. It was insane.
A couple years ago, I had a
Who was on the bench for you?
quartet.
Riley Green and Adele.
Uh,
Adele doesn't do much. He hits a home runner.
Angels hit a lot of home runs. My boy Nito hit 2 of them today. They're hitting all over the place in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else is? Were you at AA still finishing up AA or?
Oh, I kind of just jumped around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of skipped over high A a little bit. I mean, I think I mentioned Velasquez had.
You mentioned Velasquez, and you mentioned Will Bednar.
Yeah. O'Neal Perez is like hit a wall down there. He was doing really well, hitting around 300, and it's like 3 or 4 straight weeks now that he's just not doing anything.
Not doing it.
Because I like his skill set. He just isn't hitting right now. So still young.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got time. Maui Ahuna, he did a rehab game, a couple of them. Hit a home run yesterday. So
Is he playing ACL or the
Yeah.
ACL?
yeah. Martin is still down in the ACL. He's still struggling to get going, but
What time they play in these
Okay.
games in the ACL? About 6 at night, 7?
yeah, it's just 6 Mountain Time, I think.
Oh, I should come to. I should go down and just watch some
Yeah.
games. They playing them right
There's some good
at the Giants. Are they playing at Papago or are they playing?
thing. At least I think some of them are at least. They probably go to all the teams.
I wonder if they're playing at their minor league facilities or if they're playing at their, where the big league clubs played their games.
I can tell you probably pretty easily.
I could. Los, if you're out there, we got to go catch a game. Arizona. Yeah.
Usually I'll tell you on this. Okay, let's see. Today's game. Oh, wait, that's Monday. Hold on. 12.
Probably talk about that or next week, Senior, because it was for last week, and Luciano wasn't playing last week. So next week, I'm guessing you're going to talk about Luciano and his new position change.
Yeah, I mean, so they tried him out at second base last season, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, he played second base again
it's
today.
Something different. I mean, it's at least they're trying a different position. But I don't think it's his long-term answer. But who knows? Maybe he'll be pretty solid at second, and there's less pressure on you at second than short. So I don't know. We'll see.
No, I'm not going to Alabama. Tickets aren't even available. Yeah.
There we go. Now it's showing up. Let me see if it shows where they play him.
What is how did Luciano hit? How's he hitting tonight? Is he in the lineup?
0-4.
Oh, for what?
He was. Hold on. Luciano 0 for 3, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Batting 267.
It's at Papago. At least the home games are.
Oh, Papago. Okay.
Bishop's batting 304 with an 869 OPS. Bishop's been doing pretty good, man. He's keeping it up.
I like his tools.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, he's a guy. I mean, it sucks because a lot of people have already given up on him, and I with all the stuff he's dealt with his mom and mental health and in the injuries and everything, it's like I can't help but pull for the kid. Like I really want to see him do well. I don't know if his future.
He might get a call up.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll ever have a real opportunity to try and blossom into an everyday player in San Francisco, but I want to see him succeed, and maybe even if it ends up being a trade piece somewhere else. I do think he's a guy they're gonna have to make some decisions that are hard next offseason on guys to,
because there's only going to be one outfield position really that's up for grabs, right? Because I'm guessing Ramos is making a pretty good argument to be one of the outfielders. Lee's going to come back and be the center fielder.
He'll be a guy.
What's your thought on this, Cody? I'm a little. I was pretty high on Lee, and before the injury, when I found out this was his second shoulder surgery to the left shoulder, which is his non-throwing arm, but it's as a left-handed. That's the shoulder that you really torque when you swing. I mean, that's the one that you put the most force on, is that back shoulder, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's the one that's got it.
Concerning.
That's the one.
At least.
I mean, when's the last guy who had shoulder surgery you saw come out and really hit well within the first year or two?
I mean, I'd have to really look.
I mean, I know.
I would say, the one thing I'd say about Conforto is he performed what he did prior to the surgery. If you look at the year before the injury and the year after, he was not far off of what he did. But he took the entire year, so he didn't just rush himself right back.
Right. He took more than a year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's concerning. The one thing that I give for Lee is that his game's not based on power. So if he still has the bat to ball skills,
that shouldn't go away.
I think he'll, as long as he has enough pop to get it over someone's head occasionally, he just, I want to see more line drives out of him. He was hitting a ton of grounders. I just want to see more line drives. Is kind of my main thing watching him.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because, what you mentioned, Bishop. I mean, Bishop's going to they're going to have to put him on the 40 next year or expose him to the Rule 5, right? Because he was Rule 5 eligible this year and no one took him.
Yeah, and I mean, no one was going to. It's like McRae. No one was going to touch those guys.
Right, because no one's going to take him because they got to remain on the roster the full year. But I think someone would take both those guys next year.
Yeah, I think they're going to be at risk. I think someone will pick them. I don't know if they'd stick on whatever team. Especially McRae's got a ton of swing and miss. Bishop has swing and miss, but to a lesser extent than McRae. But I think some of McRae's other tools are probably a little bit better. It's tough because they're kind of similar talent profiles. Just McRae's a little faster overall, and I'd say Bishop's probably a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's exactly what it is. And I think next season, or I think this season, that's why you saw McRae get the promotion early. I think they want to get a look at him in AAA because they're going to want to decide, okay, do we want to trade this guy? Do we want to use him as a trade piece? Do we want to add him to the 40-man? Are we going to leave him off the 40-man? Whatever going, they have to figure out some of this stuff. So they need the evaluation on him, and letting him sit in AA all season. I mean, the jump from AA to the majors is not nearly as big. And I think teams would have been willing to take a risk on some of those guys as fifth outfielders or whatever, reserve guys that have a ton of speed and can play great defense.
Right. Yeah, not too many Rule 5 guys make it the whole year like Sable did. You kind of saw that coming with the this year being spending most of the time in AAA. I was a little bit taken back and shocked that they brought up, Brooks. I mean, they only got rid of Jackson Reeds. I get it. And they were able to, Reeds was not good. No one was going to pick him up. Who's the other pitcher that they had? They let him pitch. In fact, they sent somebody off the 40, and he bombed out a couple times this year already. Can't remember that starter. Who was that?
Dalton Jeffries?
Yeah. Isn't he with them as a non-roster now?
Yeah, he's back.
No, didn't he go to Pittsburgh? Or did they give him back?
I thought they got him back.
God, I don't know.
I thought he's back.
I haven't seen him throw recently if he's back.
Interesting. Well, it'll be a
Black had a really rough start last week too.
Oh, Black's value's taking a big hit this year.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much it's gone down as a whole, but he did show that he needs some work. Because he had a ton of success in AAA the first run, and he's had some good starts.
He was doing great in AA too.
Yeah, last season, and he did well both between AA and AAA last season, and really well in AAA this season. But yeah.
Talking about just some wrestling stuff. Yeah, I saw that too, Senior. Looks like they made up, which is cool.
The PK had me laughing with his Bryce Ostrich is the real deal.
PK has fun. I can confirm Dalton Jeffries is in Pittsburgh, according to Mike.
Well, all the Giants seem to go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, pretty much. Or Seattle. Pittsburgh or Seattle.
What is there, Dan? Because, the Giants have had a bunch of really good former Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how many Pirates and Giants exchange.
I've seen this so many times today. I don't understand this. Thomas B., what is going on? All you guys thrashing Slater the last few days need to we don't need to apologize.
Why?
The guy is bad. He had a good game. That's fine. But is Slater the guy that you want to block the youth?
I should give him a round of applause for doing his job for a day.
Yeah, I mean, it's one game. And he only plays against lefties. He's not an everyday guy. He come on, man. It's Austin Slater. We're not talking about Barry Bonds. We're not talking about Willie Mays. We're not even talking about Joe Pagan. We're talking about Austin Slater. Come on.
Yeah. He's paid $4 million to hit left-handed pitching. And
Yeah,
for
and
the
he hasn't
first
done
time in
that.
a year,
He hadn't done
In the
that
last
up
2
until
years.
he hasn't
was
done
great.
that up until the last couple of days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where he was killer against lefties? He was, but he's not that same guy from last year on. He isn't.
yeah, since
Yeah, he
about
hit
last
3
July.
singles today. It's not like he was scalding the ball today,
Yeah,
but he
Well,
got 3 hits, which is great, and we'll acknowledge that.
Hey, you
But-
know, everybody. I said this to you guys obviously before the show, but everybody crushed Joey Bart. The one thing I always heard about him was all he does is hit singles.
Right.
And now we got people freaking giving Slater all this credit, who's hitting like 220 or 215 or whatever, which, hey, kudos to him for getting over the Mendoza line finally in June. But
Yeah,
it's like he literally has like, what, 10 singles on the season? Yeah, he doesn't have a single extra base hit.
yeah. See,
Something breaks
there you go.
everyone.
That's what I'm saying. It's just, come on, let's look at this. Matos, man, he had 3 hits today with a home run and a double. He's not stinking it up.
Thomas B. You think Slater's better than Matos? Okay.
Come on, look.
Hey, Matos
Slater
is
has
like 10
many
for
years-
his last 15 the last 2 days.
how many years has Slater been up at the club? Like 8 years, right? 8 years.
Longest
Matos-
days diet.
Matos
Austin
has an
Slater.
accumulation of what? A half a year?
Yeah.
Come on, the kid is 22 years old. Slater is what, 30 something? Come on.
He's come on.
Come on. It's not the same.
Austin Slater, Luis Matos could spend the rest of the season in AAA, and Austin Slater is not on pace to match his RBI total.
See?
Right.
Exactly.
That's all that needs to be said. That's where he's at. when he
Don't get me wrong,
when he
and-
strings it together for a month,
And,
you know,
and
I'm
look
not
at-
rooting against him. I don't root against any player that's on the field for the Giants because
Right.
I wanna see
Yeah.
them
We're not
win at the
rooting
end of the
against
day.
them. No, not at all.
But he is what he is. Like,
And
you know,
here's the thing, too. Look what Matos did in AAA last year. The guy killed it in AAA. He comes up to the big leagues. He batted 250, which isn't bad. You know, he may have lacked in the power, but in the offseason, he put on some extra muscle. He's hitting the ball with more authority this year. So come on. Yeah. Now, is he a leadoff hitter? No. We all can say that he's not a leadoff hitter. Is he aggressive? Yes. But does he strike out? No. So, I mean, there's something there to be said. Unlike Slater, when you're only going to see him when there's a lefty on the mound. That's it.
Yeah, a guy who's paid.
PK, what is it? Chili Davis? Is
The
that
guy that
last
can't
one
hit
that-
right-handed pitching.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. You have more value as someone who can get righties than someone who can hit lefties.
Yeah.
PK, guy's name the last time he developed an all-star outfielder. An outfielder all-star.
Chili
Chili
Davis.
Davis is the last one that
Chili
I mean,
Davis.
you could make a case for Brian Reynolds after you traded him, but you know, I don't know how much credit goes to Pittsburgh.
But even
on
when
that
they
one.
traded Brian Reynolds at that time, he wasn't even a highly touted prospect at the time. He was okay, but he wasn't like highly touted when
No,
they
he
traded
was
him.
he was
Yeah,
like
I mean,
their
he was
top
in Double A
two.
raking, or it might have
He was like
raked
their
in
top
high A, and-
top 3
Are you sure?
prospects.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
in-
in
I
don't think he
300 in
was.
the minors.
I don't
Yeah,
think
he was
so.
one of their top prospects.
He would have. What I would
I thought
say.
Kyle Crick was
is-
the big one out of that one.
Yeah, what I would now. Brian was the
Reynolds
prize of that deal.
Reynolds was the key to the deal.
Yeah, he was the prize of the deal.
Hmm.
Crick had fallen off. Crick had been a top 100 prospect in the past, but he had fallen off.
Man, remember Crick and
Reynolds?
Beatty? Goodness
Yeah,
gracious, what happened?
Reynolds was ascending, and they had drafted him a year and a half earlier, roughly.
Right.
Something like
And
that.
he had hit all he had done is raked in the lower levels, and I think he was going up to Double A that season, and then they shipped him off for McCutcheon. And
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
That's-
You
it's
can't
an
blame them. They're
unforgivable
trying. They're
trade,
trying to
but-
go for it. They're trying to do something.
I can
and
blame
I
that.
can't
one.
blame.
They came off 98 losses in 2017.
And I
will
think that's
blame
why-
them until the day I die.
That's
You can't
why
make
they were
that
going
trade.
after McCutcheon. And
Yeah,
that, isn't
but
that the same year they got Longoria?
McCutcheon wasn't McCutcheon of the MVP years.
No,
Yeah.
he wasn't. But he
Like,
was-
They were going for a name.
The
They were going for a
Beltron
name.
deal, I have defended Sabian for years. Like does it suck? But Wheeler didn't turn into Wheeler for like 8 years. or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, exactly. He had
And
Tommy
they were,
John, yeah.
people like to have revisionist history, and they're like, oh, they were never going to win anything. It's like Posey had been hurt for 2 months, and they were still 3 games up in the division at the time, and like 10 games over 500 or whatever it was. Like they were a
Right.
winning team trying to defend a title. He went for a move, and
Yeah.
the fans were begging for it.
yes.
They traded the wrong guy. They should have traded Brown. stuff happens. But the McCutchen deal, I will never defend that. That was just
Yeah, the
that was
McCutchen
terrible.
deal was all
Inexcusable.
about name only.
Name recognition. Didn't they got Longoria though that same year, right?
Yes,
Pretty sure.
they got him for Christian Arroyo, who at the time was the better of the prospects.
He was supposed to be. I mean, he was batting like 400 in AAA.
Oh, I remember when he came up and he had a good first week. Oh, this guy's, Kruko is. This guy's gonna be. He's got it. He's got.
Gave him the number 22. Remember that?
Yeah. So, what's going on with Munguia?
I mean, he hasn't been able to carry over his hot camp. I'm a little shocked that he's not hitting for a better average, but it has been recovering. He was hitting about 245 last I looked. But he had started the year. I mean, he was hitting like right around the Mendoza line for a month plus. So it's trending in the right direction, but he doesn't have a ton of pop. And, I think everybody saw the hot spring training. And I mean, I saw a lot of people saying, have him start on the roster. And they were talking about having him start over guys like Matos and things like that. I'm like, let's pump the brakes, everyone.
What's going on with I was watching a game the other night. Auerbach was playing second base. Now he used to catch as well.
He plays all over. Kind of.
He's a stocky kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, at first I was like, who is this guy? He didn't look like a baseball player playing second base. He just didn't look like he didn't look like your prototypical second baseman. And then he's, but he was kind of like fashioned after. At one point, a few years ago, they were, comparing him to like a Dalton Varsho type guy that could play center, play the infield, catch. What's happening with him? Is he have a shot at all of making it to the big leagues, or is he going to be just AAA ceiling guy?
I mean, I hate saying the whole 4A player on guys because.
Right.
I mean, people were calling Ramos a 4A player, and it's like, guys.
Yes.
But
I never thought that. I always thought Ramos had the tools, man.
And that's the thing is there's the guys that are 4A players that you feel like they've maxed out their tools, and they, there's not a ton of room for growth. Like they kind of are what they are. But Ramos obviously doesn't fit that mold. Bishop doesn't fit that mold. If they end up being 4A players, it's because they're great defenders and have good speed, but they can't just bat the ball doesn't pan out.
Right.
But with Auerbach, I mean, he's been solid. He's one of those guys that every time I look at him, like I look down at the box score, it seems like he's got a big hit or, he just kind of plays the game well. And, will he make the majors? He'll probably get a shot at some point. Maybe he can stick around as a bench guy somewhere.
What do you think?
I don't think he'll get the Giants. Though.
Is this a good comp for Brett Wisely? Is Jed Lowry a good comp for Wisely? Do you think he could be a Jed Lowry type, or is that too much?
I'd have to look more at kind of how Lowry's career unfolded. I remember Lowry. He used to hit for pretty decent average, and not a ton of pop. I mean, Wisely, he has sneaky pop. Right. He has, he can hit for average. He draws walks. He hasn't really been drawing the walks at the major league level, but he did quite a bit in his career. So I do think at some point, like they will come. I don't think he's going to show up to the majors and just be a 2% walk guy. I think he'll at some point that'll get closer to his career numbers. But he's a really good defender. I mean, I think he could be a sneaky, just good quality starting player. Like I think if they turned him into a starting second baseman and moved Tyro, like I think overall the at-bat quality is better. I think the defense is just as good. Tyro's not even stealing bags this season, so you can't even use the base running argument.
Something's going on with Estrada.
Wisely's got good speed. He's maybe not the stolen base threat as Tyro, but like I said, if he's not stealing bags, it doesn't matter what he is.
What do we
get on base better?
What are you thinking of? I mean, he was a starting third baseman last year for the Giants opening day and stunk up the year after having a pretty good September in 22. Now he seems kind of buried behind Chapman and Schmidt and probably somebody else if they could find it. What's going on with David Villar? I mean, he had a ton of power, hit 30, was a minor league player of the year at AA and AAA, and he's just kind of hit a wall, right? Is he?
Yeah, I think he's a guy that you could see. I think he's very likely to get moved.
Florida, maybe he's from Florida.
Maybe.
Could you see him going to? Seems like he could be a Marlin or a Blue Jay. Seems like he fits into that mold down there.
I think he's going to end up getting moved somewhere. I don't know if it's there or East Coast, where it ends up being, but I think he's going to get moved. I wonder if some of it's mental for him right now, or he knows he's buried. He sees the entire Sacramento roster come up. At one point, like 7 of the starters in Sacramento had been like position player group were in San Francisco playing, and VR's just chilling down in Sac still. So
he has no clear path to the Giants because of Schmidt behind Chapman.
Yeah. And even they're showing it at first base that he's behind multiple. I mean, he's behind 2 or 3 guys at every position he plays.
Right. And they've tried him at second before, and he's not much range there. And
so I think he gets moved to clear a 40-man spot. Honestly, I think they're going to trade him. They're not going to, whoever trades for him. I wouldn't be shocked if it's an Adam Duvall situation where they get him for a bag of peanuts, and he ends up being a really good player.
Well, I could see him being a 20-plus home run guy in the big leagues.
Yeah. He's limited in the value I think he'll provide because he's not going to give you anything defensively, and he's probably not going to hit for much average. But in today's game, he could be a 20-plus homer guy. And
think about that. He was probably our most exciting prospect 2 years ago, as far as like a guy that we were looking at.
He hit like 36 home runs in the minor.
It was and we were all like, "Hey, David Villar." I mean, I remember being at Arizona game for his debut, and I'm interviewing his dad, and it's exciting to see him. And it was finally like, he comes up first at bat or second at bat, hits a double to the wall off Bumgarner, and it's just like, man, this guy's got some pop. And then it's just like he had his shot last year, and just he couldn't even hit a basketball.
He couldn't hit a breaking ball to save his life.
It was tough
for the season on breaking ball.
Yeah, it was very tough to watch. Well, as we wrap up here, Cody, what else you got? You got any sleeper guys to keep an eye on in any level?
Sleeper to keep an eye on in any level. I'd have to look. I mean, the one guy I saw mentioned yesterday that
I know who you're going to say.
Yeah, I was that Lisbel Diaz guy.
Yes, the guy from Cuba.
The Cuban.
He's a
18-year-old.
He's down in Arizona, right?
Yeah, he's in the ACL right now.
Now I saw a thing on him. Where did he come from? And because they were talking about his swing, I watched his swing. It's a pretty sweet swing. It's got pop.
Yeah. He can hit.
He can hit.
Where did they get this guy? Was he in the draft? International draft?
International signee.
A late international signee.
International. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. All I saw was that he was late because I did the same thing. I was like, when the hell did we get this guy?
Yeah, I never heard of him. What's his first name again? I know his last name was Diaz, right?
Yeah, Lisbel Diaz.
Lisbel. And he's what position was he?
Outfielder.
Yeah,
I think Rainer Arias. He has that wrist fracture, so I don't know when he's going to be playing.
Lisbel Diaz. Yeah. Anybody with the last name Diaz, a lot of times does pretty well in the major leagues. We've had a few Diaz's produced, and there's still a few.
He's banging right now.
Whatever happened to the guy that they brought up? He was here. Was he here last year, or was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. Is he in baseball anymore? The guy that was a phenom with the White Sox, and then he played left field, and he was.
Oh,
what
you're
was-
mean.
Yeah,
Mercedes or
Mercedes. What happened to him? I know he's
Who
not with the
knows?
Giants, but is he in
somewhere else
baseball?
now.
Probably in the Mexican League.
Yeah, playing with Bauer.
Telling you, it's tough to make it in the big leagues, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
It's going to be
Wow.
interesting to see what they do with this outfield depth. They got a lot of guys. I mean, you got Matos, you got Bishop, now you got McCray. You still got Ramos down there.
Oh,
It's gonna be
guy. I mean, a
interesting what
guy
they
was
do.
talking. The guy in the group chat I'm in was talking. He goes, "How the hell are they going to split up playing time when you have Meckler, Matos,
Oh, and
Munguia,
Meckler.
Bishop, and who am I forgetting? I said Matos, Munguia, Meckler, Bishop. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I mean, Fitzgerald's down there, and I feel like there might have been a fifth outfielder in there too that I'm drawing a blank on at the moment. But I mean, they got McCray. That was the
McCray.
fifth.
Now he's
I
McCray.
mean, you have,
I mean,
that's five guys, and that doesn't even count Diaz and Pinder, who are or McKenna.
Yeah, McKenna and Pinder, please play the guys.
They're bench guys. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not.
let's play the guys that actually are young enough that have a shot to become something. Let's play Matos. Let's play Arias.
That was Gary
or not Arias, McCray, and
again,
Bishop.
next year, it's a pretty good. It's probably going to be Ramos and Lee, right? Two of the three. Who's going to be your third outfielder? And you got all these.
Unless they trade him, Matos should be the guy. There shouldn't be anything out of camp that says we're going with Yaz and
What about
Conforto
Bishop?
types. Bishop's going to have to earn a job. He's not even as sure that he's going to be on the 40.
That makes sense.
I think Bishop, if he keeps playing like he is, he's going to be an easy 40-man ad.
Yes.
Like I think at the minimum he's an easy 40-man ad.
Should be.
And at that point he could come up at any point.
Right.
But I do think people forget he is Farhan's very first draft pick.
Yep.
And whether or not other guys have passed him or whatever, Farhan clearly liked him. I mean, he took him over a lot of guys that are currently in the majors. So I do think Farhan is going to want to get a look at him at some point in the majors, but I don't know when or how that ends up happening. Might be due to an injury. It might be, who knows? I mean, it'd be a wonderful problem to have if he showed up and hit the crap out of the ball in San Francisco.
Wouldn't shock me if things fell apart for the Giants, injury-wise, standings-wise, if they found a way to add him to the 40 this year and take a look at him late in the year.
Maybe.
Because you want to see if he could be an off-season trade target, or if you think he shows enough promise, it opens up trade market for. Let's just be candid. There's no guarantee that Ramos doesn't get dealt in a big deal, because people are going to want Elliot Ramos now. I guarantee you, if the Giants are in on somebody that has years left to play, like the White Sox, like a Luis Robert, and they want to take that shot, I personally would keep Ramos, try to keep him, because he's so valuable as, he's a great defender. Look, we saw him start off in right field and throw two guys out at second base. Then he moves to left field. He plays flawlessly out there. Now he's probably playing the best center field of any of the Giants not named Lee. I mean, and that includes Matos's two amazing robberies.
He's just very steady wherever you put him.
Yeah, Ramos is just a really solid player. I mean,
I don't think they're going to move Ramos.
I sure hope not.
Well, it would crush the fan base, as a whole. Like, it would just piss everyone off. Because
Ramos
he's the first young guy that's actually doing something consistently.
The first outfielder that they've developed in how long?
I mean, he's getting talk about being an all-star. That's how good he's been in a month. And
if
I would have to pass on Luis Robert. I mean, as much a talent the guy has,
I wouldn't pass on him if I can get Luis Robert.
How many seasons has he played a full season?
I'm not
Or
sure.
close
but
to
like
it.
basically 2 if you count, or 1.5 if you
Yeah.
count the COVID.
I get me
Season.
Luis Robert. You know what? I get me Luis Robert and Ramos. Now all of a sudden, I have a shot at some other stars.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
that's what you're making the play for, 100%. You
Yeah.
make that play because you're trying to go when you're meeting with Juan Soto, who I don't really think they have a chance at, but hey,
Right.
I think he'll go to the highest bidder, and if the Giants actually ponied up for once, they could get him. But when you go to meet with guys like Soto or whoever in free agency, you get a guy like Robert because you want to be able to tell that person he's going to hit behind you. So
yeah, and
you have protection now.
you're batting number 2, and Ramos is in front of you,
Yeah,
leading
exactly.
off.
What about that? The senior's got a point here. Luciano can't play shortstop, and he's blocked in the outfield. Trade Luciano.
I would move Luciano in a trade for Bo Bichette right now if I could.
Really?
I get Bichette's not hitting great right now. I get it. You look at a lot of the numbers, and
I'll tell you why I'm against that.
Because you can't put him at first because you got Bryce Eldridge who's going to be flying through.
That's
soon.
3 years. Eldridge.
my preference is to give Luciano a shot to play every day somewhere and see if the bat can develop. But if they're not going to do that, which is what they seem to be at, I would move him before he loses his value.
I think
his value. That's the issue.
Yeah,
the value.
I think the best place for Luciano is probably left field. You stick Yordan Alvarez out there. You've stuck. How many guys of the Giants have we seen that go out to left field to play that are catchers or whatever they are? Luciano would be fine in left field. Is he going to be a Gold Glover? No, but he's going to be adequate, and he gives you 30 home run, 100 RBI potential, and he's only 22, guys.
Yeah, I know.
I do not want to get rid of Luciano. You can't play him at shortstop.
DH him then.
You could DH him. I'd be fine with that because I can move off of Slater. I can find a deal for Slater if I'm willing to spend money and pay that contract down. You can do that. Luciano would be excellent. As you want Luciano for a couple reasons. Not just his bat, but his enthusiasm and his baseball mentality, his aggressiveness on the base pass. Giants are so dang boring to watch. It is. I mean, I still remember Luciano taking second and third on the balls that just popped out of Bart's glove and went 8 feet away from him. Nobody on the team would have even taken the risk. And Luciano made it easily. I want Luciano to be given a full year to see what he can do in the big leagues. And you know what? He just, unless somebody comes calling with me and it's like straight up Luciano for Luis Robert, or it's Luciano and some, Mason Black, fine. I'll do that because I know I'm getting a superior, already ready-made player. But if I'm just getting, if I'm not getting a bona fide all-star player for Luciano, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
no way, because his bat is electric. He can put it into the cove as a right-handed batter. And I don't know how many people can. There's only a handful of guys in the big leagues that go to right field. And Luciano goes to right field a lot. And, one day if he's given the shot, he will put it in the cove.
Yeah,
so,
there's not a ton of guys I'd want to move him for. I mean, he's not a guy that I actively want to move.
And you got to remember, if you're going to make a move today, Dan, you've talked about it. There's going to be a lot of teams out there that are going to be after the services of quite a few players, and there's it's going to be a seller's market.
Well, there's 25 teams
available.
There's 5 sellers right now. It could change before the end of July to 7 or 8, but I don't see it being any more than that. So there's going to be 22 to 25 teams vying for a Pete Alonso, I don't know who else is
A
available.
Luis Robert probably may be available.
Well,
maybe.
Luis Robert is going to cost you a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. I would be really pissed off if they traded Luciano for Alonso, for example.
Oh, that I would not do.
Yeah.
Bichette is like the lowest. And I really like Bo Bichette. I know he's hitting like 240 right now. I know he's got like a 630 OPS this season.
He's an athlete.
He's going to turn that around.
Yeah.
Like I have a ton of confidence. He's a guy I don't think would be super poorly, badly impacted by Oracle Park because he's a big line drive guy and he sprays it foul line to foul line where, I mean, the dude rakes and he'd immediately be a 2-hitter in that lineup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would never trade for Trout. No way.
He's broken, man.
He's broke.
He's averaged 79 games a season for the last 3 years.
No way. Same thing with Luis Robert, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But to a worse extent, injury.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't want the ghost of Mike Trout.
Yeah. I like Robert just simply because he's got a great game. But yeah, I'm not trading for him just to get him because he is injury prone. But a guy like Luis Robert gives you some credibility as having a top talent. Hey, can you hear that dog snoring?
Nope.
Oh, it's just me, man. It's loud.
Sometimes I could hear it. Right now, I can't.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, there's not a.
Well, as soon as you said it, I just heard it right when it went.
Yeah. I don't know who all is going to actually be available, though. I mean, it's hard to know.
It's going to be tough. I don't see Farhan being aggressively beating out other GMs that are going to be.
And the price may be too high. That's a possibility.
It is definitely a seller's market, man.
Yep.
And the Giants, in my opinion, they would be best unless they go on a run and all of a sudden we come to near the trade deadline and into July. And what do they got? Maybe 45 games left between now and the trade deadline.
Somewhere around there, right? It's right at the end of
maybe
July,
40,
right?
Maybe 40. Let me just take a quick peek.
Yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close.
Tell you, it's actually because the All-Star break, we lose them. Okay, they've got 3, 6, 9, 13, 16 the rest of this month. And then they've got, so remember the 16. I'm 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 19, plus 4, 23, 24, 20, 25 in July as the 31st. So 25 and 16, call it 40 games.
40 games until
because that takes you up to 40 games. They're one under 500. They're what, 34 and 35 right now?
34 and 35.
Okay, so they're 34 and 35, and they got 40 games. Let's say, to me, they got to go like 40 games.
40.
Okay, I would like to see them go like 28 and 16. Make it 26 and what did I say? 26 and 18. 26.
What kind of ball is that?
26 divided by 40 is 650. That's 650 balls.
So
you got to play 650 ball for 40 games.
28. What did I say that would be? 26 and 14. 26 and 14 out of 40 games. 26 divided by 40 is 650. So 26 and 14, that gives them, you know what? They could even go, I did it 26 and 14. They could actually go 25 and 15. 10 games over.
Oh, they'd be like they'd be a wild card spot.
They'd be right there. They'd be 9 over at the All-Star break. I'd even
might
say
be the first wild card spot. Yeah, honestly.
Even if they only went 24 and 16. 24 and 16 would be 24 divided by 40. That's
That's
600
600
ball.
ball.
That's more realistic. Let's say they do 24 and 16, 8 over for the rest of the break. They go 8 over. They end they're like 7 over at the trade deadline. Then I look to buy. But if they go like more realistically out of 40 games, they're probably going to go like 19 and 21. Okay. That's probably what they'll do, somewhere in there.
Right.
And they're 2 under. And they're still right in the thick of it. I'd sell because you'd prove you're just a 500 team. And
Yes.
it's a seller's market.
But does he do it?
Man, because you could get so much for Wade right now. You'll
You
never
could.
get any more for Wade than you will this year. You could get something for Duvall.
Duvall.
You could get something for Conforto. You could probably get something. Who's that?
Tyro.
Tyro. You might even get a little something back for Flores for, those type of hitters in the playoffs are great to have down the stretch, guys that can come up and pinch hit in a clutch. And, I don't know. I think let's close right here. Let's look at their schedule. This is a good exercise with 40 games to go before the trade deadline.
So you're going to start with the Angels series?
Yeah. I think they take 2 or 3 from the Angels.
Okay.
They go to Chicago for 3. I think they lose 2 or 3. They go to St. Louis for 3. One of them being in
I think they win that series.
They should win that. They should win that series. I don't know if
Yeah.
they will because I don't ever give them.
Yeah, St. Louis is a tough place to play. The first one, I think they get the one in Alabama, and then they probably come back to St. Louis and get one. I think they split this. I think they go 3-3 on that trip. Okay, so they're 3-3, and then they're 2-1. So what's that? 5-4.
5-4. Okay.
Okay, they come home for the Cubs for 4. I think they split.
Split. Okay.
I think it depends on the pitching matchups how it falls.
Yeah, it does.
But just looking at it, I think it's a split. Then they got the Dodgers at home for 3. I think they lose 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think they get 1. So now they're what, 500? What, they were 5-4, 7-6, 8-8. 8-8. 8-8 the rest of June. They go to Atlanta for 3.
Oof.
They lose 2 or 3.
2 of 3, yeah.
They go to Cleveland for
I will
3.
say this: Atlanta is playing horrible ball
right
now.
But it will heat
Maybe
up.
They figure it out by then, but
It'll heat up in July.
Probably.
They'll go to Cleveland for 3, and I think they lose 2 or 3.
Cleveland's been playing really good.
Now they're 8-8. Now they're 10 and 12. They come home for Toronto for 3. I think they win 2 of 3. Now they're 12 and 13. They got Minnesota for 3 at home. I think they win 2 of 3 there.
Minnesota's been playing some good ball.
So they play 500. Yeah. So
now they're at the All-Star break.
500 for them.
Up to the All-Star break. Then they go to Colorado for 3 after the break. I think they could. I think they could lose 2 or 3 in Colorado.
I think they go.
I'm going to give them the series. I'm going to give them 2 or 3. Then they go to LA for 4. I think they lose 3 of 4.
Okay.
Then they come home for the Rockies for 4 with a traditional doubleheader. I think they win 3 of 4 there.
Okay.
Then they got the A's for 2, and I think they split. And I think I don't know where that ended up, but it's somewhere right around 500.
Yeah. It's going to be 500. It ain't going to be no 600 ball.
I don't see that. Now, if they do, then they show something that maybe they're more than just a 500 club. But then you go into August and you go into a very tough road trip in the middle of the dog days of summer.
Dog days of summer. Yeah.
In hot as hell Cincinnati for 3, humid, and then you go to Washington for 4.
Oh, that's tough.
So then you come home and you get the Tigers for 3, who are not an easy out this year, and then you got Atlanta for 4. Then I don't see anywhere where they just all of a sudden just put together this 8 of 10 streak. It can happen.
It could happen, but the way they've been playing.
It's just going to be they're going to have to just get hot and start playing well, even against good teams. I mean, they can't just sit there and count on the opponent to, them to get a break in the schedule that leads to them winning. They're going to have to go out and actually play good baseball and start winning games. And
that's the thing is against
winning
teams. How have they been faring against teams with winning?
Oh yeah, it's been pretty rough. So yeah, I mean, this team seems to always have they always have a regression to 500.
That would be
no matter
rough
where they are.
Yeah, they just have 500 written all over them.
Yeah.
You know why? It's pretty simple if you think about it. They don't have dominant pitching.
Not right now.
And they don't hit. They're not a team that can put together 3, 4, 5 game stretches of, big bats. So when bats go silent, they're going to lose 3-1, 4-1, 4-2. And you just can't get anything sustained going. You think about it. When they won those 4 in a row, was it their streak, and like 8 of 10 or something? 8-1 they went with Luciano, 8-1. They were scoring 5+ runs a game, 6, 7, double digits twice. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll see. Maybe they do it.
I hope they prove us wrong. I'd rather see good baseball.
Yeah, it's baseball. So, but hey, Cody, man, thanks for enlightening us more with what's happening in the minors. You guys check out Cody's channel, Even Year Dynasty Show. Check it out, subscribe. And he does a live now and then. When's your next live?
Yeah, normally it would be on Thursdays. I think we're going to probably try and do Friday this week.
Okay.
Yeah, the other guy's not available tomorrow. So we're not able to get it for tomorrow. So we'll probably try and get something Friday is what we're hoping. I don't know. If I have the time, maybe I'll hop on in the afternoon or something and just people can listen to me ramble.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dan, Senior says, I need home runs and RBI. Send me something.
You send it to me. I don't make deals. I don't like making trades.
Sounds like all Dan has is saves.
All Dan has is pitching.
I for some reason, Cody, I'm not hitting home runs that much, but I have some home run pop. I got Steer, Simeon, Riley.
I like Spencer Steer.
I
wish they could get their hands on him.
I got Seager. I got Soto. I got Luis Robert. I got Shohei. I should be hitting some home runs.
Should be.
So you had a good week when Soto was playing the Giants.
Yeah, I did.
He did.
But I'm still dead last in almost every hitting category.
Biggest mover today was Carlo P. He gained 4 points, man.
What did I still lose 1?
You are -1.
What are you? You act like you
+1.
got 1. I knew it. I could tell. Just you are -1. You are -1. I could tell, man. You are -1.
Glenn -1.5. Oh, there he is. There's Glenn as we speak.
Why don't you pick up somebody on waivers, Glenn? Oh, wait. You can't. What did Mike do? Mike wants to know what he did.
What did Mike do? Broke even, 0.
Broke even, 0, Mike. That means you remain in the 11th place.
Sole possession of 11th place.
Sole possession of 11th place. Somebody said do the Kermit voice.
Kermit the Frog here for NorCal Sports Network. Thanking our guest. That would be Cody of Even Year Dynasty Show. I'd like to thank my co-host, Miss Piggy, over there. You didn't even hear that.
I'm reading the chat.
You didn't even hear what I called you, did you?
No.
I called
What'd you
you
call
Miss
me?
Miss Piggy.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Oh, God.
Come on, man.
You're not even paying attention there.
We're paying attention. How about this?
I was waving to the family chat in the Philippines.
We had no idea. I'm watching. I'm watching.
I
Cody,
thought you waved
and I
it right
see
at
this
us.
over there. I see this. I'm like, what's going on? Was that a signal? I didn't know you were trying to. I was like, what am I missing?
Mike says Dan sold his team is still in charge. That's because my name is Dan Sabian.
Dan Sabian.
That's right. Looked like Bobby had the job, but I was overlooking over his shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
You guys need some home runs? Who wants Shohei? Who wants Soto? Two of the biggest stars for Mike.
I tried to get Soto. That didn't work out.
You tried to get Soto?
From you, remember? We
Where
were
did you
kind of
go?
working a little bit, sorta.
Oh,
Didn't work out.
yeah.
You guys are going to do a whole show where it's just a trade negotiation.
Yeah.
Senior.
You want
wants
Soto? Let me look at Senior's roster. I will give you Soto.
Let me guess. I know what Senior's going to say. Trey Turner's coming back in a week. Watch. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I know. Trey Turner.
Let's hammer this out right now, he says.
Why trade for any of those guys when you could trade for Donnie Walton 4 times, Farhan style?
All right, Senior, let me see what you got. All right. I will give you Juan Soto
Here we go.
for
There it is. I have Young and Trey Turner. I knew it. I knew Trey Turner was going to be in there. I knew it.
Young. Who's Young? Oh, Jung. Young.
It's Young.
I will give
Gunnar
you
Henderson.
Soto.
Gunnar Henderson.
You could have Soto for Gunnar Henderson and Fernando Tatis. That's
that ain't gonna happen. That ain't happening.
and I will since
You
it's
gotta add someone else.
since 2 for 1. I will give you Riley Green.
What?
Green and Soto for
Not
Tatis.
not Adele. You've been trying to ship off Adele for a while.
Tatis and who did I say?
He goes, "Come on, man!" in the Eric voice.
Yeah,
Come on,
Gunnar
man.
Henderson.
Gunnar,
You have
man.
Soto. You
He's
want
had
Soto?
That dude's a monster.
That kid, man. Woo!
Tatis. Come on,
Second
Senior.
round pick, too.
Tatis and Riley Green.
Don't worry, we took Hunter Bishop.
Or you can have Langford.
Langford.
You can have Joe Adele and Soto and Langford. There you go. Wyatt Langford, man. The guy just isn't hitting yet.
I think he'll get going at some point.
There ain't no working on this voice, Glenn.
Yeah, it's.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah, can you practice a little Gabe?
Come on, man.
No.
Oh, Gabe.
Hey, where your Marlins hat?
Can I do that?
There you go.
Balance the smoke, yeah.
balance.
Oh, Glenn, we're here. It's Glenn and Eric here, that rock and talk show.
Glenn, let's make a deal.
Glenn, let's make a deal.
Senior's desperate to get rid of Trey Turner. He knows that Hammy's going to go. He knows that Trey Turner's game is predicated on speed. And as soon as he takes off for second again, at one point, that Hammy's going to go. It's not going to stretch back. It's just going to snap.
Vince is still killing it, but he only lost half a point, but he's still sitting at 96. God.
Vince,
Yeah.
he's pretty tough. Got a tough team.
He
I don't
does,
know.
man. He's balanced everywhere. He's awesome, man.
He's balanced the smoke.
He
'Cause,
has. Yes, he has balanced the smoke.
have like when you look at his lineup, it's not like he's got Stars and Ramirez and Freeman, but that's it. That's it. Everybody else is just kind of like, I mean, look at his lineup. Stevenson and Alvarez catching. Christian Walker doesn't hit for average. Has some pop. Morel, he has some pop a little bit.
Yeah, Vince hasn't had any injuries. Good point there, Senior.
Yeah,
That is true.
Ramirez, Cruz, Freeman, Cronenworth, kind of Falefa, Lane Thomas, Verdugo, Talkman, and his utility guy is Miguel Garcia. I mean, he's only hitting he's hitting 250 with 5 homers, but he's got some ribbies. Stolen bases, though. He's balanced.
The only thing he's not doing well in his average. Everything else, man, he's at
he
8.5 or better.
I know. I don't know how.
He knows how to do it, man. He knows how to do it.
Yeah. So, all right. Any trades that happen after hours, we'll deal with later. Nobody sent me any deals.
I think everyone's pretty much set now, man. I don't think there ain't going to be very many more.
I'm not even trying to trade right now.
Yeah.
Although, I've got to make. I may make a move later on with my minor league. I'll go down to the affiliate. I have.
Oh man!
Part of my 40-minute. No. Yeah. No. Okay. All right, guys.
Oh, Ben Bamboo, it's the minor league, the MILB app. It's $30 for the whole season.
Yeah, $29.99 the whole season, man.
Yeah, and you can get all 4 levels.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Although everything down in the A ball and double A, the
quality
is a little grainy, isn't it?
A little grainy.
Triple A is not too bad, but the replays are like everything is like it's like somebody out there with their phone is filming the game.
There a couple, Triple A, it's kind of like early 2000s quality, maybe even a hair better, like of what you got in the majors. Double A, it totally. There was a game where it was so windy that the thing literally looked like it was doing that while filming. But I mean, there was a game in High A where they didn't have the behind the pitcher view. If they're playing up in Everett, this happens. They don't have the behind the pitcher view. Everything is behind the catcher, like looking way down.
Oh, wow.
It's like, what the hell is this?
It can be hard, but
it's it's fun. It's so fun.
You're a diehard if you can watch
minor league ball,
especially Eugene, who doesn't have anybody to really get excited about right now.
I am like begging them to bring Eldridge up here so I can go catch games in the Northwest League, so I can go see him play.
Oh yeah,
that's right. You're in Oregon, right?
I'm up near Seattle. So
okay, you're up in Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but all of them, I mean, the Northwest League, there's 6 teams, and it's like the Giants are about as far away as it gets because they're down in Eugene, and then there's the Hillsboro team. There's a team over in Tri-Cities. There's one over in Spokane. There's a team in Everett, and then there's a team in Vancouver.
Everett, is that Washington? Everett, Washington?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live up there a couple hours away from Spokane. And used to fly out of Spokane a lot, drive up there. But yeah, the ball, that area, it's minor league's great because they got teams in Idaho, Montana.
Yeah.
We had Anthony Villa on, who's the director of player development with the Orioles. He played with the White Sox, and he was up there in Montana playing in high A ball. Maybe it was rookie league. Maybe that was rookie. Yeah, that was rookie league, I think. But yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoy baseball. It's good baseball.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Well, awesome. We'll be back Friday night. Eric probably won't be with us.
Nope, probably won't.
So it'll be me and somebody, hopefully. If you're
Somebody.
free, Cody, you're welcome to join.
I'll let you know if I end up free that night. I'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. Be after the Giants Angels game. So about a 10 o'clock start Friday night. And then
That's the last one, right? That's the last game between Angels and Giants, right?
what do you mean the last one?
Right? Is that the last tomorrow? Because tomorrow they. Oh, wait, no.
It's the first
Never
game.
mind.
I was off
First
day.
game. That's right. I was off day. My bad.
Got to get off those ping pong gummy.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Damn.
Man, you didn't put the king up tonight.
Oh, I know. I
Thank
could.
goodness. Thank goodness. We're out of here, guys. We'll see you Friday night.
Friday
About
night,
10
but I will
o'clock.
not be here. I will be back Saturday night.
All right, later, everyone.
Thanks, Cody. Everybody go check out his channel, Even Your Dynasty Show. Subscribe. He's also on Twitter. There's his Twitter handle below his name at EYD Show.
There we
Thanks,
go.
everybody. See you Friday.
I'll see you Saturday. Woo! We're still here.
Senior, you said, hold on. What do you got? I came back for you. Senior? Did you have a deal to make? I didn't. I came all the way back just for this.
I think he wants to see the Matos bomb. I think that's what the whole thing was about.
Oh, well, we don't have it.
You can't see where it lands anyway. It just can't. He just hit. You can tell he just hits the piss out of it, and the camera just looks to left field, and you don't see a ball anywhere.
I thought Senior was putting together a big deal, and he wanted to announce it on the show. But
Pretty sure
there's nothing there. So there will be no music this time. It'll just be Eric will hit the red button. And
after the new edition that I put in today. Here we go.
All right.
Oops.
played the wrong one.
Hold on, let me delete it. I gotta upload the right one.
I didn't see no Wisely in there.
Yeah, he wasn't. As soon as I was like, wait, I forgot to upload it. I knew I was forgetting to do something. Here we go. Let me upload this one. This will be much better.
I may just abort this. It's in
Abort!
Abort! In the middle of the play the kids.
Abort it right in the middle, right?
Right. Just what was interesting to me was, hey, look, we got Brett Wisely joining us right below. Doesn't he look like? Doesn't Cody look like Wisely right there?
There's some Wisely looking there.
Garden gnome power, all right.
All right, look at that. Here we go. Here we go. Let's try this again. Take two. Bye.